Hello, thanks for joining me on Life in Surround. Today we're going to be discussing Pink Floyd, the later years. Hey, I just want to take a second to ask you if you think that surround sound is important, particularly surround music. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, leave your comments as appropriate. It helps the YouTube algorithm think that this channel is important, and it can send a message to record labels and to artists that surround music is important to you, and hopefully that causes them to put out more and more surround material for our enjoyment. Alright, so this thing is mammoth. It weighs a ton. It comes with books and CDs and Blu-rays and DVDs and vinyl singles and posters and stickers and all kinds of other stuff. The important parts of it to me are the CDs, which come in this book. You get Momentary Lapse of Reason remixed and reimagined. You get Delicate Sound of Thunder remixed. You get some live recordings from '87 and '94 and unreleased studio stuff, and the Nebworth charity concert, all on CD. Plus you get in this booklet disc information like production, engineering, personnel for the tours, all that kind of stuff. So production notes and credits for all of the discs are in this book. Alright, so I'm happy they included that. Some people don't care for CDs, but I love listening to CDs in my car, so I'm a happy camper in that regard. Now let's go quickly through all the Blu-rays, which are the most important to me. I think by far the most exciting Blu-ray for certain surround sound enthusiasts is going to be Disc 6, Blu-ray number 1. It has the Momentary Lapse of Reason remix, reimagined album. It has the Division Bell, and it has some additional studio bonus tracks, all in high-res stereo and lossless high-res 5.1, mixed by Andy Jackson. The Division Bell is the same mix that was released a few years ago in the Division Bell Deluxe box, but that set is pretty expensive. Up until shortly ago, I had the standalone DVD of Division Bell that was released on Pink Floyd's website, but that only had lossy DTS on it, and this has not only LPCM but also DTS HD master. So this is a very cool disc. I never really could get into Momentary Lapse of Reason back in the day. This has drawn me in. I do appreciate these songs now. I've already given it repeated listens and it will stay in rotation. I really dig this disc. And it's really sad that it's the only Blu-ray they chose not to duplicate with a DVD. And we'll get to that later when we talk about the value of this box. Alright, Delicate Sound of Thunder. This is the other disc to have from this set if it's the last thing you do. Like if Pink Floyd breaks this set into smaller subsets like they did with the early years, you're going to want to get this. It's remixed, restored. It's in 16:9 aspect ratio, which is a little bit odd for this overall box set. The 5.1 mix sounds amazing. The only way I ever heard Delicate Sound of Thunder back in the day was on LP and CD, and so this is my first surround sound experience for it. It's the first time for me seeing the concert, and it just looks and sounds fantastic. Get Delicate Sound of Thunder if you can, if they break it out into a smaller set, or if you can afford this box now, or if the price crashes on it and you can afford it later. You're gonna love this, okay? Alright, Pulse. It says restored and re-edited. I'm not aware of what was wrong with the editing before. I used to have the 2 DVD set. This is the same mix, but it's lossless now. Instead of DTS, we get DTS HD Master. It's still in 4:3 aspect ratio, and I'm not sure why they would leave it in that ratio if they re-edited the video, unless like all of the video tracks were filmed in 4:3 or were already cropped into 4:3 and they just had no choice. It does look good and it sounds great, but it certainly fares no worse than it ever did on dual DVD, and it sounds a little better because it's lossless now. So I'm glad they included it. Just wonder why we get widescreen for some offerings here and not for others. Here is the next Blu-ray, disc 9. You get a concert from Venice and the Nebworth charity concert. Venice is stereo only, Nebworth is in stereo and 5.1. I have enjoyed them both. I think they're great. They're in 4:3. Alright, we're getting toward the end of the Blu-rays. We have unreleased live films, music videos, and concert screen films. I think this is the least entertaining disc in the set. It's stereo only, and I don't know, promo videos, I can watch them once and then I don't really ever feel like it again. You do get live tracks from Delicate Sound of Thunder that were cut, but it's sort of the lesser tracks with the exception of Yet Another Movie. I don't know, this disc is just okay, but I can take or leave it, to be perfectly honest. And then the final Blu-ray, we get documentaries and unreleased material. The documentaries are cool. You get to see the making of the album covers, you get interviews, you get Arnold Lane rehearsal, you get behind the scenes type of stuff. But the most important thing from this Blu-ray is the Ian Eames film of Endless River. Once upon a time I had the CD Blu-ray set of Endless River, but now it's been synced to a movie, which is beautiful and relaxing and helps me engage with the music a bit better. I understand the concept of Endless River better having seen the film. So I do really enjoy this disc. I'm glad they included it. And so that does give us all 3 studio Pink Floyd offerings from this era in lossless 5.1 together in this box set, plus 3 concerts in 5.1 and another concert in stereo. So that's a quick and dirty breakdown on the Blu-rays. It's well known that 5 of the Blu-rays are duplicated by DVD. For some mysterious reason they chose not to duplicate the first Blu-ray with Momentary Lapse of Reason and Division Bell and the bonus tracks on it. If they bothered to duplicate the Blu-rays with DVDs to begin with, why not do them all? And especially why not do the disc that's going to end up being the most coveted by many collectors? In my opinion, duplicating the Blu-rays with DVDs just drives up the price of the box set, and those DVDs are going to go unplayed, probably by the vast majority of people who buy this box. What some other labels have done, like in the King Crimson Surround series, is they'll do a Blu-ray version and a DVD version. I think Yes has done that as well. I know that Rush did that for at least a couple of their multi-channel offerings. I see no point in duplicating Blu-rays and DVDs in the same set. So if anybody wants my 5 DVDs, make me an offer. I'm just never going to make use of them. Alright, and additionally, let's talk about the price point. Pink Floyd started really high on the price point for this set. I think the MSRP was up somewhere near $500. Fortunately, most if not all retailers brought things down well below $400, and some discounters even down near $300. In my opinion, that's still pretty high for the price of this set. If you just go on a price per disc ratio, that's still like around $20 per disc. But if you go by the discs that people are actually going to listen to the most, maybe the CDs and the Blu-rays, now you're talking more like $30 per disc, and this is looking pretty pricey. Now, on the other hand, I just went and saw Eric Clapton a month or 2 ago, and one ticket for that concert was more than this box set. And I'm going to get to relive the moments from this box set over and over and over again. So value can be kind of relative. There are people who are buying this box set at this time, and there are people who are not. So The price is high. The box is selling. Per the market, we'll see how well it sells if the price of the box set comes down. And like I said, hopefully with the early years, Pink Floyd will break this thing out into smaller subsets maybe next year. So what are some final thoughts on this box set? We finally get a momentary lapse of reason in surround. And in order to adjust the creative balance back between the three remaining members of Pink Floyd, they floated in some keyboard parts from Richard Wright from the subsequent tours, and they had Nick Mason redo a bunch of drum parts with acoustic drums instead of electronic drums. So Momentary Lapse of Reason sounds way less 80s. To me it sounds warmer, more organic, and I like it a lot. It could bother some purists that it just doesn't sound like the 1987 album. As much as I like Momentary Lapse of Reason in 5.1, and I appreciate that I now have Division Bell Lossless and the Endless River movie, I think Delicate Sound of Thunder really steals the show here. And the live material is really engaging for me. I particularly love Guy Pratt on the bass. He's a monster. I know that Pink Floyd lost a creative genius when Roger Waters departed the band, but they did gain some great bass players both on the albums and live, and some excellent singing as well. And the three members that remain are no creative slouches either. Juxtaposed to Roger Waters' thematic and storytelling way of getting his message across, I feel like later Pink Floyd is a bit more mature and personal, and I feel moved and compelled by a great many of the songs from these later years. We all love High Hopes, and I love Coming Back to Life, and I'm now getting into tracks like On the Turning Away, Yet Another Movie, One Slip, and some of the Endless River tunes. And besides that, the concerts give us plenty of songs from Pink Floyd's earlier eras. Alright, so is the later years box set for you? I think that depends a lot on price and whether you like what is in it. Some people are a bit unhappy about what was not included in the set. I'm relatively happy with what's here. I get lots of surround material to feast my ears on, so to speak. And whether this set is for you, that's up to you. I'd love to hear your comments, both positive, negative, enthusiastic, and otherwise. Don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, help get this channel out to other people, and again, let artists and labels know that surround music is important to you, and hopefully in the months and years to come, we'll get more and more surround releases to enjoy together. Pretty soon I want to do a video on how a lot of us are getting sick of large box sets. It's a concept called tombs, tired of mega box sets, and I would like to do a looking forward to 2020 type of video. I'll try to scrape together the albums that are announced and rumored. In the meantime, I hope you have happy holidays, a happy new year. I will do what I can to get interesting videos up during this time. And until next time, per usual, live life in surround.